Hey there, welcome to the program. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com.
Forget where you were today?
What's that?
Did you forget where you were today?
Just for a second.
Okay.
ourhealthyhomes.com, 651-775-9194. That's the magic number. That's the number you call. That's where you get that voice. It's not a porn voice on the phone. It's the lovely and talented Sheila. She will help you get started on your health and wellness journey and get you pointed in the right direction. Or go to ourhealthyhomes.com. Got a super duper deal for you. Go up and click one of the two pink buttons in the top of the page. And one's going to take you to the 14-day reset, which is a wonderful way to start, get your body kind of tuned up and ready to go for spring. Or the other one is the Muffin Top Meltdown Challenge. What is that all about, Sheila?
The Muffin Top Meltdown. I like to help women that have been struggling with the weight gain that is around the belly.
The 50 by 50.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
That's what we call it at the coffee shop. 50 years old and 50 pounds overweight.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That's what they think. That's
Easy
what
math.
they do at the.
Yeah, easy math.
That's what you do at the coffee shop every Monday. Here I was wondering what kind of problems you were solving, and that's what you're talking about. Okay. So at any age, yes, but typically 40 and above is, when you start to have the kids growing up and they're a little bit more responsible, and now it's time that you focus on yourself. And we should be focusing on, I don't use that word all the time, should, but I'm going to say it today. You should focus on yourself first, because you are the one that needs to take care of the whole household. So if we're not in check, how are we going to be in check to take care of everybody else? So the Muffin Top Meltdown is a process that we go through to rid the body of that weight, but it's more than
blockage.
That. It's waste. It's which I'm going there today.
Oh boy.
Parasites and a lot of other things that are keeping you from moving the peg forward. You can go to the club 7 days a week. You can run your socks off, and you can be eating right, and you can be doing what you think are the right things, but there's so much that we need to back up and start with, and get the body prepared to be able to move that forward and lose that inflammation and lose that weight and not have the pain anymore, and all the things, right? So last week we started to go through like a little bit of the Muffin Top Meltdown program, right? We were going to hit some topics. We hit water, we hit blood sugars, but we didn't really, I think we hit intermittent fasting a bit, but we didn't get any further than that, because there's many phases to this, right? And so after those few things, we are going to talk about and test what your pH balance is in your gut. When you live in an acidic state is when mucus happens, inflammation happens, dis-ease starts to happen, and then that's when it just allows the whole gut to get out of control, and everything you're taking in as far as nutrients and vitamins and supplements and things like that, your body isn't absorbing because it's not in a position where it can, because it's too acidic. So we need to see where that level is, work that through, and get your pH working, okay? Saliva tests and whatnot. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. Then my favorite part is we got to get to the parasites, okay? People shut down on me when I say that. It's not a third world problem. Everybody has them. There's a misconception that if you're skinny, you don't have to worry about it.
Well.
Okay? It doesn't matter. Everybody has parasites. It's when trauma
if you're skinny,
happens.
you probably have a tapeworm.
Well, yeah, it could be, because there's many different types of parasites, right? So, what type of parasites are out there? What they do? Excess belly fat, unexplained weight gain, unexplained weight loss, slows down the metabolism, brain fog, constant itching, multiple sinus infections, gas and bloating, interrupted sleep, hormone changes, digestive issues, constipation, like skin issues. So there's so much to it that. You don't want to just run out and get a parasite cleanse, because there is a process that needs to happen, and you need to do it. Can I share your story that when you didn't do it right, what happened?
I don't know what happened. What happened?
So long story.
Okay.
Short story is you have to do it for 3 months, otherwise don't bother because of the parasite cycle. Okay. So you thought you would
had a healing crisis.
thought you would do it,
Yep.
and you did it for a couple months, and then you had that skin irritation around your nipple, and it like opened up and it wouldn't go away. And I said, well,
it was like a blister.
Yeah. I said, did you finish the parasite cleanse? And he said, well, no. And I said, what does that have to do with it? I said, it has everything to do with it. And so you went back and you did it again then for the 3 months and gone.
Yep.
Right.
Gone.
You can go down the rabbit hole with this.
Right.
But it has to be done. Like, it has to be done. We have to move these things out. Parasites, bad bacteria, all of the things. There is a doctor, Brian Artis. Now, I know who he is, but it depends on, how much natural you pay attention to. Okay, so he believes that 70% of all autoimmune cases that he has seen in his practice were actually caused by parasites.
Oh.
Okay, let's go back to that. 70% of all autoimmune cases that he has seen in his practice. Doesn't everybody have an autoimmune disease? I mean, you talk to so many people, I got this autoimmune. And so
I got nothing.
It's great. I love it. I got nothing. There's a hidden link between the parasites and the most chronic diseases. I mean, some of the stuff, I mentioned. There is a cancer parasite connection ebook. We're going to talk about ebooks today too. That he's got. So if you want me to send you that cancer book, go to the website, Our Healthy Homes. Just scroll down. You'll see the contact button, and just type in there parasite ebook or parasite, or
send me the free book.
Right, anything you want. And so it's time that we really address this big issue, because it's a big issue. Now, do you do a parasite cleanse once and you're done? Oh, no. It's like
Take
anything.
a shower every day, don't you?
Right. It's like everything else. Oh, what was our thing we did last week? It is the fishbowl analysis.
Yep.
Right. So your fish tank is dirty.
That's the world.
What do we do?
We live in a
That's
dirty
you.
fishbowl.
That's you.
That's you.
Your fishbowl is you.
Okay.
Right. So the fishbowl is dirty.
Got to clean the water.
You gotta clean. You gotta clean your tank.
Got to
right.
clean the tank
And
out.
so you're not gonna medicate the fishbowl.
No.
Right. You need to clean the
You can
tank.
put drops in there and then kill all the fish.
Right, exactly. So when that fishbowl is dirty, that's when I talked about, like with the parasites, it doesn't matter what the fishbowl is dirty with, it's dirty, right? So we got to clean it up. And so all that inflammation, all that soda, all that alcohol, all those everyday chemicals that you're taking in with the word fragrance on, that you're putting on and in your skin, obesity, constipation, 80% of the world's constipated. If you're not going at least 2 times a day, you're constipated. So all of those things lead up to sickness and cancer.
Yep.
Okay. So I got you covered. I want to help you. Go to ourhealthyhomes.com and click on the Melt Down Your Muffin Top program.
Super
and
duper.
we will work you through that. So next week, we'll take out another topic of what's in the book that we need to cover.
Okay. Our Healthy Homes. This is Our Healthy Homes. We talk about the 4 pillars of a healthy home. We're talking about
Our guest didn't know what he was getting in for today.
We're talking about Skip Nelson's here. I'm so excited. I want to get to the ads out of the way so we can get talking
I
to
heard
him.
parasites and I felt right at home.
I know. So the 4 pillars of a healthy home are the physical structure of the house, the ecosystem within the house.
Yep.
We talk about your body, which Sheila has been talking about
I'm on it.
for the last few minutes, and then with the mind and emotional and spiritual thing. One of the things that we also deal with, and a lot of our listeners are self-employed, small business people, gig workers, and they're trying to figure out how to grow their business and how to expand so that they can provide a good, healthy environment for their families. So we're excited to speak with Skip about this. He's a small business growth strategist, a national speaker, author,
Comedian.
And comedian. And so we're excited to speak with him right after the break. Day 3 of the fast, Sheila. I'm on day 3 of the big fast. So 5 days I'm doing this week just for kicks. And so I get to eat.
I'm on the reset, so join me on the reset.
Friday night, I'll be busy tomorrow because we're recording another show tomorrow, and I'm showing houses. But then Friday might be a little bit challenging because I haven't got much on the book there to keep my mind off it. But I get that popcorn Friday night and ice cream. So ourhealthyhomes.com. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. I am so cotton-picking excited to talk with Skip Nelson.
Alley.
This is right up my alley. We're going to talk
buckets.
small
I might as well go to the
business.
bathroom and come back.
Yeah, you might as well check out. Well, we can
Maybe.
find out how maybe we can expand our business here. So I want to introduce Skip Nelson. He's a small business growth strategist and national speaker. And so we're going to have a conversation about that. And we've owned a number of small businesses, made every mistake that you've got on your list here. So we want to talk through that a little bit.
Haven't we all?
Yes. And you are author of a book. You've got a book here, Your Business Breakthrough, right here. You can get a free book, right?
Yep.
If
Free
you
ebook.
click on free.
Ebook.
Yep.
It's an ebook download, super duper.
Yep. Just go to snbusinessbreakthroughs.com and you can get a free copy of the book. And there's also a video on there called "Everything You Know About Marketing Is Wrong."
Oh, isn't that
I think
so?
people would enjoy.
S
So,
as in Sam, N as in Nancy.
Yep. Skip Nelson. Yep. snbusinessbreakthroughs.com.
All right. Okay, so let's just kind of go back to the beginning so people can know and understand you a little bit, where you're coming from. Can you give us just a little summary of your background and how you got into the business of being a national speaker and consultant? Because that sounds like a good gig.
It is a good gig. I'm very blessed. I love it. And I started my first business. Well, I started as a paper boy.
Okay.
Then I started mowing yards and shoveling driveways. And met my business partner selling lady shoes at Dayton's department store.
Wow.
Really?
And listen, if you want to know about the horrors of business,
Yes.
the lady shoe department store during a daisy sale is as horrifying as anything I can imagine. That is fright. That is fear. But I met my business partner, and we decided to start a carpet cleaning business out of my parents' basement after I graduated from the University of Minnesota.
How old were you at this time?
Just college graduate,
Okay,
just
all right.
right out of college, and just morphed. Somebody had water in their basement, asked if we'd handle that, and like any good entrepreneur, we said, sure, having no idea what we were doing.
Right.
My mom was shocked I started a cleaning business. I don't think I'd ever cleaned my room.
Yeah,
much
Yeah.
less
right,
anything else.
Right,
exactly.
And she's like, you're going to do what?
Mm-hmm.
And but we got into water, then started doing larger projects with insurance companies. They wanted to do fire, so we got trained and certified to do that. Started doing larger projects, started construction division, do structural remodels and rebuilds. And just kind of morphed and loved business, made every mistake in the book, grew and hired people and just loved it and did it for over 25 years and kind of got burned out of the industry, just being on call 24 hours a day.
Sure.
Right.
So I got out of that business and I decided, I've learned a lot over these years. I'd love to be able to help others maybe avoid some of the mistakes I've made. So I started coaching and helping businesses. And it's my passion. I love doing it, and it's fun to see people have all their hard work and sacrifice pay off.
What was your biggest mistake?
Focusing too much on revenue. I find that a lot with a lot of businesses.
Yep.
Not,
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I always say
Ring a bell?
there's no problem you can't have that you can't sell your way out of.
no, true. And salespeople are the easiest people to sell,
I know.
right? So we were in my parents' basement, and we wanted to be $1 million company, right? Then we got there. Then we wanted to be a $2 million company. We got there. It was all revenue driven, and I
Right.
found times where I generated revenue, but I didn't make any money.
Right.
It's like I like to joke I was kind of an unintentional nonprofit. Right? That's not where you want to be.
No.
Right? That's not good. And so I found that it is not a revenue. You have to have revenue, but it's a profit game.
Right.
And so my focus. And I go through a concept called profit acceleration, and I teach a workshop on that. But the idea is to really focus not on revenue, but on profit, to make sure that the long days and long weekends and missed birthday parties result in money in your pocket, not just doing the hamster wheel of running, and really not making money. And so that's my passion, really helping small. That was probably my biggest initial problem, is focusing too much on revenue.
Were you always like a self-starter and entrepreneurial, or what made you right out of college to say, I'm not going to go get a job, I'm going to start my own business?
I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wish I had some big story. It was my dream to be an entrepreneur. It's like I don't think I could still spell entrepreneur. So I don't know that exactly that I had that dream, but I was interested in doing unique things, and I liked freedom, and so I just talking to my business partner. I thought, let's give it a shot. How cool. And only in America, right? We came with a couple college guys come up with an idea.
Right.
And we built a nationally known multi-million-dollar company from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
where
how
are you
cool
from
is that?
originally?
Edina.
Okay.
You don't think less of me,
Okay.
please.
Right.
My wife does.
Cake eater.
I know.
Breakfast of Champions.
That's right. Okay, so you start this business, you get going on it, you run yourself out of it. What made you get burned out of it? You said you got burned out of it. I've been burned out of a couple of businesses, so I know what you're talking about. But just can you articulate that for the listeners?
It was just it became the industry changed, and the type of business we're in. We did emergency response stuff, and so we're literally on call 24 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, go ahead.
And it just got to be. It's like it was fun, and I learned a ton. But it's just like I'm done.
Season's
with
over.
That. Season's over. I'm done. And so now I like to focus on, like I said, I work with every type of business known to humankind, which is fun, and meet them where they're at, from startup to millions and millions of dollars. Everybody's different and has challenges, and kind of figure that out and problem solve and customize a plan for profit for that business is just a kick. And
any size business.
Any size business, it doesn't matter.
So
where's your partner?
Former, that was in the business that we got out of.
Okay.
He's actually consultant, national consultant, different area than I. We're still, we were best men at each other's weddings. We're still great friends. But just it's fun to just do other things.
Mm-hmm.
So what qualifies you as a national speaker?
It's a good question. They say I find that the expert is just somebody from out of town.
Right.
Oh.
And so
I heard it was a drip under pressure.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Qualified on both fronts.
There you go.
Okay, good. I want to do that. How do I do that? I want that on my title.
It's the school of hard knocks. I've done it. I was. People would approach me a lot because of the success we had in building our businesses, and like, but geez, how'd you do that? Or ask questions or whatever, and then I seem to be able to relate to people and kind of help them apply what I've learned to what they're doing, and it just kind of morphed from there.
If somebody has an idea of something that they want to do, or they have maybe a little bit of a side gig out of the garage that they're doing a little bit, how would you advise them to bring that to the next level? What are the steps that they should take that they could maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that you've seen people doing over and over again?
Yep. The first book, I've got 7, but the first one, this one is go to snbusinessbreakthroughs.com, because it goes through 12 strategies that are key. The company that built the software that I use research worldwide. They're in 45 countries, and they've analyzed every type of business known to humankind. And they found that there were 12 key strategies that were consistent in very highly profitable businesses. And so it really goes through those 12 strategies and how to apply them to a business. And first start off is things that people miss. Coming up with a strong market dominating position, unique selling proposition. Most businesses don't do that or do it poorly.
Wait, repeat that again. You went so fast.
A market dominating position or a unique selling proposition.
USP. We're going to talk about that because that's a hard one.
Critical important, but most businesses don't do it at all or don't do it well, and also have a compelling offer. Most businesses don't have a compelling offer. I look at businesses, and through the coupons you get or whatever, and it's 25% off, and all of them are the same, or free roof inspection or free retirement analysis. They're not compelling,
right?
Because all the people in the industry are offering the same thing. Or real estate, free property inspection. It's like, who cares? It's not compelling.
Right.
And so
free market analysis.
Right.
Right.
If your competitors are offering the same offer that you are, it ain't compelling. And so I help clients craft their market dominating position, how they're really unique. And not just unique, that's unique selling proposition. Market dominating position goes a step deeper, is to getting into the head of your ideal client and what is the problem that they have in their head that they don't want, and the result or solution that they want but don't have. That's what you need to figure out. And if you can figure that out and build your market dominating position around that, everything blows up. I mean, in a good way, profit-wise.
Yeah.
Because you're speaking to your client, your ideal client,
right,
as opposed to just
serving their needs as opposed to your needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of businesses, their unique selling proposition is what they think is unique. And most of the time it's not. Been in business since 19 blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Family owned. I mean, that's lovely, but it's not unique.
Yeah.
And so it's really crafting and getting the building blocks, and also a marketing structure that I call the conversion equation, that is, whether it's website or any marketing piece, that you build it upon, that makes it much more appealing and unique to stand out. And but you got to get that stuff. Everybody's like, I need leads, right? I got to get leads. So I'm going to run an ad.
Because I got to eat today.
Right. And they miss all the baseline steps to build market dominating position, compelling offer, and the tool, the building blocks you need to make whatever you do from an ad standpoint work.
When you're working in an industry that is been commoditized, it's a commodity.
Yep.
Real estate, mortgage, even most health and wellness things. I mean, it's just like you said, everybody is saying the same thing.
Yep.
How on earth can you differentiate yourself in that environment? What are the steps that you would go through to say, okay, how am I going to create this unique selling proposition? And because I can't think of anything that's different.
Right. And it takes work. But the first thing I would suggest is reach out to your ideal clients. The people that like, man, if I could get more people like these people, that would be great for me. And ask them why they hired you. What is it that was unique about that made them choose you? And dive into that a little bit. But you do have to find out what makes you unique and different and build around that, and that's what really makes you stand out.
We have to go out to break right now, and we will be right back after these messages. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, we're in the studio with Skip Nelson. And
we need 10 more hours.
We do need 10 more hours because I am burning on this one here. The biggest challenge is that we talked in the last segment a little bit about getting started in the business, and you were talking about getting the unique selling proposition and drilling down on that stuff that we've heard a million times. The real challenge comes in is how do you do it? I mean, how do you do it? Because it's very difficult when you sit down and you are a used car salesman out there buying cars at auction and putting them on your lot and stuff like that. What is the differentiating thing that you have? What is the service that you provide that 100 other used car salesmen don't also do?
Right.
And everyone says they do good service, give good service and great service. They all say it, and nobody hardly ever does it.
Yep.
So what is the magic there? What is how do you differentiate yourself? And then how do you communicate that? That's the marketing side. How do you communicate that to the public?
Right. And there's a lot of strategy that we can peel back on this thing and dive in. It takes time to do it. But I would say first, as I mentioned, identify your ideal client. The people you work with are like, I want more of these. This is who I want. These are, if I could get more of Bill and Sally, man, they are ideal clients for me. And talk to Bill and Sally. What is it? Why did you ultimately choose me? And they're going to give you insight as to what that is. And dig into that. The other thing that I find is bundling. We don't want to allow us to be commoditized. Again, as a carpet cleaner, when I started out of college, talk about a commodity. It's like your oil change, right?
Yeah.
People are just going to buy based on price.
Right.
Because they don't. And if you allow yourself to be commoditized, the easiest thing for the public to make their decision based on is then price, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't want to be there. I've never been the cheapest at anything I've ever done, nor do I want to be. But I better be able to establish my value proposition.
Yeah, the why.
To justify it, right? And so when we started as carpet cleaning, I don't think I'd ever vacuumed a carpet when I started my carpet cleaning company, right? My mom's like, you don't even clean your room. And so we had to come up with I couldn't say I've been in business 30 years or whatever. We're a couple of college guys. So what we did is we focused on certification and technology and things that really weren't being talked about in the market. We got certified by the Institute of Inspection and Cleaning Restoration Certification. We got blah, blah, blah. And so we were certified techs and blah, blah, blah. And that had not been talked about at that point. And so we differentiated ourselves, not because we had an XY9 super sucker or we blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Nobody cares. But we were certified, we were trained, we were uniformed, we were professional in coming in to care for your carpet, extend the value of your carpet. We were talking about stuff that other people weren't talking about. They're talking about getting out the pea stain or whatever.
Right.
And so, but we identified that was really what people were concerned about, was professionalism. Who's coming into their home? Can they trust them? Feel comfortable? And so identify who that is for you, and then how can you bundle what you do? Maybe it's package. Maybe you have a platinum level client that you go after, and you package not only, we're going to take you and look at homes, but we're going to pick you up in a limousine, and we're going to have champagne, and I mean, whatever. But, what is it that you can do to make the experience blow their doors off? And there's people that would pay for that,
there are
right?
People, yeah.
So for example, it's kind of like this is where we're at with that is, I love selling homes and helping you feel better in them, right? So we are agents, right, that love to sell you a home, and now we really want you to be healthy and live a full life in there, because if you don't have your health, you're not going to be in your home, right? So we look at it as, we're not just here for the transaction, right? So once you use us and you learn about the candles that were in the house and the Glade plugins that were in the house and, all of the things, we share and give a closing gift that is what we say we are, no chemicals and things like that. And then you get to know, I get to know you better. I get to know the family more. I get to know what issues the kids are having. Do they have a runny nose? Do they have this? Do they have that? And then, you know that I'm here for more than just this sale. Like, I really am here. We really are here to help you.
We're here for your family.
Right. We're here for your family. Yep. And then from there, you share what you've learned from me with your friends, and then they meet me as a person, not as the big bad realtor that,
Yep.
right? And so that has been like for, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, we've like come up with that, but we don't see that the community has like really wrapped their heads
Yep.
around that concept. So it's kind of like with you with the carpet thing. You
Yep.
were like going techie and talking about things that nobody was talking about. We're kind of there. We've been talking about, these healthy homes and, and your health and things like that where nobody else is.
Yep, and I think a couple of things you got to keep in mind. One is, again, getting inside the head of your ideal client. They've got two things. One, a problem they want they don't have,
Right.
and a solution or result a problem they have and don't want, and a result or solution they want but don't have.
Right.
You got to figure out what that is. Now, if that isn't having health, they aren't going to care.
No, right.
Right, exactly.
And so you have to make sure that your ideal client cares about that.
Right.
Because a lot of times businesses will have something that they like, how their unique selling prop,
Yep.
right? That they think is unique or they think is important that their clients don't care about.
Right.
And so if your clients ultimately don't care about a healthy lifestyle, it isn't going to resonate.
Right.
And so maybe it's about targeting more specifically on who you're going after, because that's not going to be everybody.
Right.
A lot of people maybe should be everybody.
Yeah.
But it isn't, right?
It
Well, it's kind of like when I first got in the business, and we were generating leads with your newspaper ads. I mean, what really dates us, but
Yeah.
and I'm
What's
calling.
that? A news
Yeah, right.
Yeah, newspaper, print paper,
right,
and
right.
television
What your-
ads
what
on
your-
the network stations.
What your landlord doesn't want you to know about,
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
it
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
right? And so, I mean, I'm dialing, right? I'm
Work like
dialing,
magic.
and I would get so frustrated, right? And he came to me one day and he said, Sheila, not everybody should have a house.
Yep.
Like, that's, you can't help everybody.
Yep.
Right? And it was like, wow.
Why are businesses frequently disappointed in their marketing results, do you think?
Oh, that was me and
Yeah.
building my business. And I'll tell you, the reason is that most of the times they don't do the groundwork that I was talking about earlier, establishing a really solid market dominating position, having a really solid compelling offer, building their website and their ads based on what I call the conversion equation. But it's basically marketing strategy. And then they'll run an ad. Like I did, right? We needed work, so we're going to run an ad, 25% of your carpet cleaning, right? And we
Right.
target the
Right.
zip codes and do all
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and it's going to generate and
Right.
just blow up and then it's like,
Nothing
we're
happens.
busier. I guess we got
Yeah.
some more. The other thing
But it
I'll
was
tell you-
discounted business.
well, bingo.
Yeah.
Right.
You hit it exactly on. That's one of the biggest problems I find with businesses is that the easiest way to generate work is have a sale, right? You send out a coupon,
Yep.
whatever.
That's the
and
no thinking
it
way.
destroys your profit.
Right.
And so it may generate more activity,
Yep.
but your profit goes away. So that's a whole thing I train my clients on is that you want to have an offer, but do not discount. With just a 10% discount, you have to sell 50% more of your widget just to break even, just to get back where you were. And how many people just do a 10% discount?
Right.
It's 20, 30, 40%.
Right.
And it's that much. So it destroys. So don't discount. But you have to come up with a compelling offer that and usually it needs to be informational. The other thing I'll say is a big mistake people make is the offer is 25% off or some type of a discount or whatever. The problem, if you look at the market, only 1 to 3% of the market is what we call a now buyer. The people that have decided they're going to buy
right, now.
and they're ready to go. They're
Yep,
just going to choose
yep.
the vendor, right?
Right.
Yep.
97% of the market aren't there yet.
Yeah.
They're still looking. And the problem is most of the ads that you look at, if it's a discount ad or something, it's only going to appeal to the 1 to 3%.
Yes.
If I'm not ready to buy and looking, a 25% discount means nothing to me.
Right.
And so what you need to do, the offer in most instances should be informational. It should be how the top 5 biggest mistakes that people make in real estate and buying a home or that whatever or health or whatever it might be. And so you craft a report or something that's of interest, a very compelling report, and that's your offer. And so people will try to get, but you're now opening yourself up to the 97% of the market that most people miss when they're just going after the 1 to 3. And so the offer, and then you drip on them and provide valuable educational information until they're ready to buy.
So the question then is how do you do that drip now? Because so many people and we've got email campaigns that run and landing pages, squeeze page, all of the above, right? And so people put in fake phone numbers, they put in fake email addresses, or they'll have a real email address that they don't check. It's the one that they use when they're signing up to get the free ebook or the free download or whatever it is, so that there's no way for you to be able to follow up with them on that. So from a business, I'm just kind of relating back to our restaurants that we had for 14 years, and we never, at the very beginning, we were in Groupon and all those things, and then after a very short period of time, we thought this is not good business. We do not want to do this. So for 14 years, we never had a sale, never had a coupon. We maybe had a special on a Friday night that was because we brought something in special that was different. Mm-hmm. That's what made it special.
Food item,
It wasn't the price.
Yep.
And
awesome.
But so many people are out there, consumers. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And the marketing people that you talk to, the first thing that they want to do, run a radio ad, is what is your offer? And that's code for, can you offer it for less money, whatever it is, or some kind of a deal for people. All right, we got to go out, pay some bills. Speaking of paying bills at full price, we're going to run some ads right now where someone's offering a discount on something, and we'll be right back.
Listen to them.
We'll be
Let
right
us know
back.
how many you heard, how many discounts you heard.
That's right. Good idea. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We are in the studio with Skip Nelson. Super duper conversation so far, and still got a few things left to go over. So we talked in a couple of segments ago about getting into your ideal customer's mind. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people have a hard time determining what their ideal customer is, because I've seen it in our industry, in the real estate business especially, where I'll give you an example. So when we were with another brokerage, when we first started out, we started a thing called the Original Townhome Team, and we marketed townhomes like a mad dog.
You might even have some listeners here that
might, and we were really good at it. And we had townhome team members that were on our team in 60 offices, and I mean, it was a big deal. And we just pushed on that niche. Riches are in the niches. Mm-hmm. All right, so then we get a call from a seller who wants to sell his townhome, and we helped them buy the townhome. And oh, great, where are you going to go? Oh, we bought a house over, in Apple Valley. It's like, well, why didn't you call us? Well, we thought all you did was sell townhomes. Mm-hmm. So you get pigeonholed sometimes with your niche, and so you have to be careful about that. And even when we open the restaurant as a hobby. Mm-hmm. And people thought that we weren't in the real estate business. They thought we left and gone into the restaurant business. How do you combat that?
It's a great question, and most businesses struggle with that. Just really getting your niche. And the thing that I would say, a lot of times they fear getting a niche because, like, well, geez, if I limit myself to that, how am I going to?
I'm leaving money laying on the table over here because this business over here was good too.
Right. The key point here is that you're not saying you're not going to do business with anybody else. You're just going to ideally focus on a specific area. That's different. Mm-hmm. If I'm just saying I'm just going to do townhomes and I'm not doing anything else, that's one thing. But if you're saying I'm going to specialize in townhomes, but I service everybody, is different. Right? And a lot of times businesses think if I have a niche, I'm limiting myself to that. You're not. You're establishing a specialty and to be known for something, because there's a lot of power in that.
Melting down your muffin top.
You got to melt down your muffin top. I have always said that, and I didn't really know until today exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Now I know. And I'm gonna skip dinner and go to the gym, but that's a whole different story. But I think that's a big part of it is just making sure that you can, to some extent, and again, pick if you have an area that you particularly enjoy, or again, pick some ideal clients that I really enjoy these people. What's the uniqueness there, and focus on that. But you don't have to limit yourself.
And it's maybe just like, I'm going to do all this business in all these different areas, but these two or this one, that's where I'm going to spend my marketing dollars. And so I'm going to always promote into that, and then there'll be enough outflow from everything else. And like you said, we can still work over here or do this other business too.
One of the things I'll mention, and if they get the book, there's 12 strategies. And the other concept that I think is really critical is that what I look at is the power of compounding. That's really what profit acceleration is based on. I mean, Einstein said compounding is the most powerful force in the universe, and it is. And so the software, and that's what I apply to businesses, because the idea is on these 12 baseline strategies is not to hit the home run, not to have just this windfall on whatever. If we can find, say, 5% of an improvement in these 12 areas, in fact, I can show a business in 5 minutes how to double their profit. Double it. By just addressing 2 of the 12 areas and just a small, but the point is, we're not looking for huge effect. If you are in the proper areas and properly apply them, just small, because a lot of people are maybe doing some of the 12 strategies. That's fine. We're not talking about it has to be new, but can we find 5% more of an improvement, or 5% of a cut, or whatever it might be, of an effect? That will add up to a massive profit impact. And it's just strategically knowing how to do that. But it's just small changes can make massive results.
When you are sitting down with somebody, do you do one-on-one consulting with businesses then? Okay, so you're sitting down with someone. What's that first conversation kind of look like when you're the first meeting with someone, the discovery meeting where you're getting to know them?
Yeah, I like to ask them questions about their business, about how they got into it, but their ideal client, kind of what they do, what they like to do. And financially, we don't go over a lot of specifics. It's helpful for the analytics to do their annual revenue and gross and net profit margin. And I say that, and I will say most of the businesses that I work with have no idea what their gross and profit net margins are.
Right.
So anybody that has a business, your best bud should be your CPA or your bookkeeper, because that's your scorecard.
How often should that business owner be looking at that?
In my opinion, minimally quarterly. Meeting with them quarterly.
Meeting with them quarterly,
if not 10 times a year.
Okay. When you work with companies, is there a sweet spot where a company has to get to a certain size when your services will have a huge impact on them and to enable them to go to the next level, or what's that look like?
These concepts work everything from startup to just opening your doors to well-established, because I find it's very rare to find a business that's hitting on all cylinders in these areas. It just doesn't happen. And a lot of times, one of my favorite sayings as a coach is it's hard to read the label from inside the jar. And by that I mean,
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
But by that I mean, it's why did Tiger Woods have 7 coaches in his prime? It's not that he didn't know how to golf, but
right.
But I find even as an expert, when we had our restoration company, we were national experts. We consulted with restoration companies all over the country on how to run their business. But we had a coach for our own business, because I could go into somebody else's business and say, oh, that's not working. That person's got to go.
Right.
Clear as day.
Right.
In my own business, it's right here. Didn't see it.
Didn't see
So
it
I
at all.
needed
saw it and didn't want to do anything about it.
Yes, right.
That's, I think, that's more.
Because you have the emotional thing.
Right,
It's like, well,
right.
Sally's not really performing, but she's so nice, and she's got a kitty, and blah, 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 and you talk yourself out of it.
Right.
It's very difficult to be objective purely. And so I find as a coach, I'm able to do that. I'm able to provide an objective opinion, but also able to kick them in the tail and hold them accountable. And I know for me as a coach in my own business, I needed both. And that was not me. I need somebody to come in and help me with that. And that's, I think, as a coach, what I'm.
So really what you're saying is, when I tell my husband something over and over and over and he doesn't get it, and then he meets with you and you say the same thing that I said, then he gets it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You call me and I will solve that problem for you.
Okay.
And
that's the next book.
And the immediate impact in profitability is to remove your wife's credit card from her purse.
That can be exponential.
That is true. That is true.
So, from a marketing standpoint today, from what you see companies doing, then what is being effective? Is there something that's working better than others, or something?
Because
like,
I got to believe through our times we go through those things, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it just ebbs and flows. Like I almost was thinking when you were talking, doesn't everybody have an ebook? Doesn't everybody, like when you were talking about being different, I'm like, wow, like everybody I ever see in my emails is giving away an ebook.
Right. But it's got to be compelling. If the ebook, like if you're a health nut and your ebook is on health, it's like, I want to read that. If I'm not into health, it's not. So, I mean, it's got to, again, we got to get inside the head of our ideal client and solve the problem they have that they don't want and the result they want but don't have. That's what it's got to do. If it doesn't do that, it's not going to work. And your compelling offer is not going to be compelling. And it's not what I think is important or what I think is unique. It's what your ideal client thinks is unique. That's what it's got to be. And that's
so what I'm hearing is when you're looking at your business and looking for what differentiates me,
as a real estate
agent or us as health and wellness advocates, then really what we should be saying is, what is our customer? Who are the people that we want to serve? What are they feeling? And because everyone needs a place to live, I get that, and so they're looking for a house. Well, they're not really looking for a house. They're looking for a place where they can raise their family, and a place where their family feels safe and secure, and that's convenient to their work, and the house just kind of is the facilitator of that.
Yep.
Of that emotional piece. And then to drill down below that, which is hard for a lot of people, is to find out, well, what is that emotional tag then? That makes that they're really, what is the seven questions, the Toyota, they ask the 5 or 7 questions, why is that, why is that, why is that, until you finally get down to the layer. If someone wants to lose weight, why do you want to lose weight? Because no one woke up in the morning and said, geez, I'd like to lose weight.
Right.
Well, really? Why? Well, because my pants are tight. Oh, okay.
Because now I'm pre-diabetic.
Yeah. Well, but who cares? I just take my.
Right.
So why do you want to lose weight? Well, because my pants are tight. Well, why don't you just buy bigger pants? So that you can go down that whole route too.
Because I will never buy a bigger size ever again.
In any business, though.
Yeah.
And it's that. That's hard to do.
It is very. It's
really hard to do by yourself.
Oh, it is. And I couldn't do it by myself. And that's as a coach, that's what I'm able to do with clients, is I kind of help them see a little different perspective. Because, like I said, I had to bring in a coach to help me in my business.
Where's your next thing that you're going to be speaking at?
Southwest Metro Chamber of Commerce in Chanhassen on the Wednesday, the 13th, and they can just March. Yep.
Is that on here?
They can go to this website, skipnelsonmarketingsolutions.com/workshop and sign up there.
Skip Nelson's
marketingsolutions.com/workshop, and they can register there. It's free. There's nothing to buy. You even get breakfast. But it's the idea of the workshop is to bring small businesses together, talk about kind of what's working, not working, in growing their business, and then I go over profit acceleration strategies on how they can add profit to their business.
And this is the book that they'll get when they download?
Yep.
Ebook, yes.
The ebook, Your Business
SMBusinessBreakthroughs.com.
Super.
Wow.
That went fast. I've been talking fast for an hour.
You both have. I'm just having a hard time keeping up with you.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
But when he calls me sugar, I love that man with all my might. Sugar in the morning, sugar in the afternoon. Sugar after dinner, sugar in every room. He says I'm sweet as I can be. When he calls me that name, it does things to me. I tell him, honey, you can call me sugar.